Certain moments in our life we will always remember, whether they brought a smile to our face or a tear to our eye.
These moments shape who we are, and we carry them with us. Some we can never truly appreciate until years later, when we realize that amidst all the bad was really a new opportunity and fate taking its course.
All four of us have experienced something that we considered bad at the time. As we reflect back on our life and see that even though at the time we could only see the negative in each of our situations, there was always a silver lining that brought us to where we are now.
I've grown up in the Wilson Area School District since I was a 10-year-old little girl at Williams Township Elementary School. Being involved in sports, I always looked up to the varsity athletes that represented my future high school and aspired to be just like them one day. I began my high school career as planned at Wilson Area High School. I loved everything about my school, my friends, my teachers, and of course my teams and teammates. My life took an unexpected twist during the summer between my sophomore and junior years of high school. While my brother was ecstatic about the news, I had a difficult time processing what I had just heard. My head went blank, knots formed in my stomach, and my throat felt as though a golf ball was lodged somewhere inside. We were transferring high schools. My world was flipped upside down and I was terrified. I'd have to start my high school career over, make all new friends, and not to mention work a lot harder in school. I looked at my twin brother with devastation and fright, but his warm smile and comforting eyes told me that I could do this. I began my junior year at Central Catholic and it was definitely challenging at first. I made schoolwork my priority and excelled academically. I started making amazing friends and eventually my best friend Corinne. They were a much different crowd than the students I was surrounded by at my old school. Our sporting events and school masses are what amazed me the most. Central Catholic was self-proclaimed to have the rowdiest, largest student section in the state of Pennsylvania. I never experienced anything like it, but I will carry these amazing memories with me forever. Although I was extremely skeptical and would have done anything to avoid it in the beginning, transferring to Allentown Central Catholic High School changed me as a person, prepared me for college, brought me to my best friend for life, and gave me the most special memories I've ever could have imagined.
For my formative years in adolescence, I was a partner and owner to my horse. Owning a horse gave me the ear-to-ear smile and inner glow that only accompanies doing something you love. I would not trade the experience, the good or the bad, for the world, but it was an experience that could not last forever. The day came that I had been dreading all along. Gravel crunched as a stark white pickup truck with a matching trailer crawled up the driveway of the farm where my horse stayed. My knuckles were white, gripping the lead rope attached to my horse, and I watched the vehicle park and the older lady I had previously met pop out. I told myself over and over again that I would not cry. Small chat ensued as we danced around the elephant in the room that I was no longer going to own a horse. My eyelids were heavy, holding back salty tears. Eventually I handed over my horse, but it felt like I was handing over the last 6 years of my life. His new owner led him onto the trailer, shut the iron doors, and slowly pulled away. I could not hold back anymore. Fat tears raced down my cheeks and scattered the ground, and my chest felt like it was full of bricks. I thought that was the worst day of my life, but as one door closed, another opened. I had to either sell my horse or go to a small state school so I could afford the time and money to keep him. I found my silver lining at Penn State, my dream school, and I am now the happiest I've ever been. I met my best friends, and I am having the best time of my life. And even though I sold my horse, I still check in with his new owner, who says he is doing well. I thought selling my horse was the end of the road, but it was the beginning of the rest of my life.
Growing up, my sister was my very own life-size Barbie. I dressed her up and commanded her to be my maid, my cashier, my chef, or my slave. I forced her to follow my orders, and even when she broke down in tears, I stood firm to my rules. I bullied her and bruised her and poked her and pushed her, yet somehow she remained by my side. She still looked up to me. I remember one time in particular, we were standing in my kitchen, arguing about something irrelevant and petty. As my only comeback, I told her she was ugly and fat and that she would never have friends like I did. She stood there, small and innocent, and looked at me like I had just crushed all of her dreams in one sentence. Tears rolled down her chubby cheeks, and she walked away defeated and heartbroken. Because of my anger, I didn't hug her and tell her that she was beautiful, nor did I apologize. Instead, I was proud of myself for winning the argument. The day after that, my sister was my best friend again. She let me dress her up, she let me command her around, and she let me have my way. She didn't complain, and she wasn't angry. And that's when I realized that I never should have yelled at her in the first place. I never should have told her that she was ugly or fat or that she would never have friends like I did, because she was the most loyal little sister a big sister could ever ask for, and she loved me so much even when I didn't deserve her love. In that moment, I wish I could have taken back every horrible word I'd ever said to her.
"5 years ago, I moved to a new school, knowing not a single person. It was only 8th grade, and it was a struggle that seemed to have no end. The whole year I spent making empty and dry conversations that still left me alone come weekends and school activities. After being ditched by my date for the very first homecoming, it felt as if things couldn't get any worse. I had no date, no true friendships, and I felt alone. While at the time the situation seemed to have no silver lining, it was the best thing that could have happened and the reason I met my best friend. That night, much to my dismay, I attended the homecoming dance not with a date, but with a group of girls I did not know. I wanted nothing to do with the dance or the school, yet when I look back on those pictures, I smile at how unaware I was that on that night I would create a bond with one of the most important people in my life, who I would later attend even more dances with. Through being ditched, I met Maddie and a group of friends who I now see as my second family."
As we all reflect on that time in our life, we would have done anything to change our situations. We were all unaware that amidst the bad, good was coming. And through the bad, we learned a common theme. When something bad happens to you, you have 3 choices.
Let it define you.
Let it destroy you.
Or let it strengthen you.